What's up, guys? 412J Fury here. This isn't going to be a vape review today. This is going to be a video of a number of theories that I've been looking into a little bit. And I want to bring my input into it, bring it all together, and I want to talk about how it's possible that Cloverfield, 10 Cloverfield Lane, Star Trek, and yes, Star Wars could all exist in the same universe. I know it sounds absolutely crazy. I know it sounds far-fetched. But we know JJ Abrams is a mad genius. I would now consider him the absolute king of sci-fi without a question. I mean, he directed 2 Star Trek movies. In my opinion, the best Star Wars movie ever made. He did Lost, the Cloverfield series, which are definitely sci-fi. So let's give him the crown. But anyway, I want to mention a YouTuber who has a video up with a really good theory. I don't even really think it's a theory. I think it's absolutely clear watching this movie, going back and looking at some of the things that he didn't bring up that I searched out and found from their viral campaign that they did for Cloverfield and 10 Cloverfield Lane, which makes the story of Howard in this movie completely clear, if you ask me. Some things the director said, an alternate ending that I haven't heard many people mention that my brother actually brought up to me. So let's explore that. First thing, let's give credit where credit is due. You're going to see me looking over a little bit because I got my notes over here. So, where universes collide. I'll put a link to his theory in the description, okay? His theory, and what I completely believe, is the first thing that I'm going to go into. This video might be a little long, so bear with me here. Is Howard's story in 10 Cloverfield Lane. Okay, Howard is played by John Goodman. I think this is John Goodman's best role that he's ever done, actually. He totally kills it. One thing, major spoilers. If you haven't seen Cloverfield, especially 10 Cloverfield Lane, which will be talked about most, Star Wars Episode 7, I'm really not going to go into any details or any details of Star Trek. But turn the video off right now if you don't want any spoilers. Just giving you a warning right there. So, John Goodman's character, Howard, in 10 Cloverfield Lane, alright? We all know who saw the movie that it's a big setup that messes with your mind. You don't know what the heck's going on at first, if he just kidnapped Michelle, or if there really was a fallout, or, what's going on. Alright, so this is for people that saw the movie. If you haven't watched this video after, go check out the other video that I mentioned. But anyway, so Howard, here's definitely what happened, alright? The director has admitted that whenever you see Michelle at the gas station filling up before she drives off, gets hit by a truck, which we know is Howard's, that you can hear Howard breathing at the gas station, okay? We see his truck pull up behind her. You can hear him breathing. He was absolutely looking to abduct her so he could play out this fantasy that he has in his head that I'm going to get to next. So he follows her. He crashes her off the road, which we know he told her that he was in a hurry because of the fallout, and he accidentally hit into her car, which is total bullcrap. He definitely did it on purpose because he wanted another girl. Okay, us who've seen the movie know that he abducted another girl previously that he killed. He said that it was his daughter Megan, which it was not. It was a girl that he abducted. Let me go back a second. His wife turns his daughter Megan against him. They moved to Chicago, okay? Now, this really ties in with the whole story and other things. It's unbelievable. I'm going to try to get through this as fast as possible. But anyway, we know that his family left him, or at least he says this. It makes you think he was making it all up and never had a daughter, because he shows Michelle the picture of the girl that he had abducted and says that it's Megan. But we found out it's not. We found out he killed her because I think he chases her, through the air system, the filtration system. She climbs up the ladder, is trying to get out. Howard's big, he can't move fast. So he's chasing her up the ladder. She's scraping help on the window, and he finally gets to grab her somehow, and her earring comes out. There's blood. So that's how the earring comes into play. That's probably how it played out. But we know that Michelle finds the picture and the earring and links those two together. Michelle's amazing for one thing. Great problem solver, not your average horror movie white girl who just runs and dies. You know, she was excellent. But anyway, he didn't really have a daughter. After he went crazy from things that I believe he's seen in his job, classified information that he found out, and trying to explain this to his family and why he's trying to build a bomb shelter, okay? They leave him. His wife leaves him, tells his daughter he's crazy, keeps her away from him. Okay, here's one clue that most people don't know unless you followed the 10 Cloverfield Lane viral campaign. We know that Howard and his daughter have been communicating via email. For those of you guys that don't know, there's a viral campaign out there for Cloverfield and for 10 Cloverfield Lane where it gives you a whole bunch of backstory stuff. I never even looked into this stuff. I just recently found out about it. I'm probably not going to dig as deep as a lot of people might want to, but if you want to, just go Google that stuff. The viral campaigns for Cloverfield and 10 Cloverfield Lane. But there's a picture, right, of Howard on this website. Radio Man 70 is on his shirt. It's a picture of Employee of the Month. And we know that he works for this Japanese satellite company called Targado, right? Or Tagrado, however you pronounce it. He works for this Japanese satellite company. And we know that they had something to do with, if people who don't know, if you watch Cloverfield, and whenever Rob's at Coney Island and he's filming stuff, you can see a satellite fall from the sky into the water, which obviously had something to do with the monster coming out of the sea in Cloverfield. And Howard works for the satellite company. So boom, there's the connection between the two Cloverfield titled films, without a doubt. We know that Rob, the character in Cloverfield, he was going away to work for a company that made a drink called Slusho. And we also know that Tegrado had something to do with that drink as well. Another clue that I picked up, sorry if this is scattered, but it is what it is there's a drink called Swamp Pop. In 10 Cloverfield Lane, the soda that they're drinking at the table for dinner is called Swamp Pop. I mean, come on. I don't think it's a coincidence. There's even a viral website about this where it talks about ordering a large supply in bulk. The long-term shelter supply, it's called. So they market this soda for people in a bomb shelter. If you go to this website, I guess there's all these other clues. The website is cloverfieldclues.blogspot.com and look up the Swamp Pop stuff. There's a clue of how much it costs for the long-term shelter supply, which was $4,813. That's also the same number that was punched into the jukebox during the trailer for the movie. There's a slogan on their website, you can't drink just 4. And also, Slusho's slogan is you can't drink just 6. So without a doubt, there's a connection. Slusho was in Cloverfield. We got Swamp Pop in 10 Cloverfield Lane. Boom, there's another connection. But let me get back to the original story I was telling about Howard. Like I mentioned before, Howard had recently abducted that girl, killed her. He went out to abduct Michelle. You can hear him breathing at the gas station. I don't think, actually, in my head I know, Howard didn't think an attack was going to happen. He just wanted to abduct Michelle so he would have another girl that he could use in his fantasy as his daughter. I do not think that his fantasy was sexual or that he was a pedophile. His daughter left him. She was obviously the most important thing to him. So he wanted to set up a scenario where he has another daughter. So he grabs Michelle, smashes her car off the road, of course, first, has her chained to the bed, and what do you know? Coincidentally, Howard knew that this would happen eventually from what he learned at his job, that the fallout would happen. He knew about aliens. He knew about space worms, which I'll mention later. And a fallout just so happens to happen. Elliot, the other younger male character in the movie, sees the flash of light. He comes running to the shelter. Howard's trying to shut him out. Elliot smashes his way in, busts his arm up. That was not in Howard's plan. He did not want Elliot there. He wanted it to be just him and Michelle so he can play out his fantasy. So from then on, he's looking for a way that he can get Elliot out of the picture. And we all know that he finally finds a way, and boom, he shoots Elliot in the head. Elliot's gone. What's the first thing we see whenever Howard goes back to Michelle? He's dressed up all nice, all clean shaven. He's offering her ice cream. Completely wants to play the scenario of a father. Yes, he's absolutely crazy, but knowing these things even make me feel bad for the guy. So back to the website. There's this long letter, okay, that Howard wrote to his daughter. I'm not going to read the whole letter. It's way too long for the video. If you want to, you can go to /film.com/10 Cloverfield Lane viral, or Google that, and you'll find this letter, okay? Howard's telling his daughter Megan to be safe. Something's coming for sure. He talks about how in the past, before his family left, that him and his daughter were building this small shelter together. A smaller fallout shelter. They were already working on this thing. And his wife thought he was crazy. And obviously that's when he took his daughter away. But he's still emailing her. And he tells her how he's built this bigger, much greater shelter. And how it's going to keep them so much more safe. But he also tells her of a location in Chicago by her grandmother's old house, where he built a smaller bomb shelter for her to get there as fast as possible as soon as something happens, that he's hired people to build this shelter for her. So I feel bad for Howard, even though he was sick and he snapped. But let me connect one more thing to that real quick. His daughter moved to Chicago, right? I found out that the original ending for 10 Cloverfield Lane wasn't going to involve aliens. It wasn't going to involve a big fight scene with Michelle fighting aliens. It was actually going to be her just escaping, driving off, and us seeing the skyline of Chicago all busted up after a fallout. Crazy. So that just got my mind like completely blown. Or we might not ever see any other movie after this that's directly linked with these characters, which sucks. But it is what it is. The reason I'm saying Star Trek, the drink slusho, without a doubt, appears in the Star Trek movie. In Star Trek Into Darkness, I guess there's a bar scene where Scotty and his buddy are drowning their sorrows, and you can see an ad somewhere for slusho. I didn't look it up. I looked up the picture, I could see it online, but I'm going to go back another time and watch it in the movie. So, we know Abrams is throwing slusho and swamp pop in the Cloverfield flicks and Star Trek. I mean, that's crazy. My theory that even could pull Star Wars down into this thing is the fact that Howard knew about these alien worms, right? These space worms. And we see that he was right, because they attack Michelle whenever she escapes the shelter. And if you notice, which I'm sure you do, go back and watch, whenever these worms are attacking and they open their mouths on the window and they're trying to get to her, the window through the truck, they look exactly like the Rathtars from Star Wars. They got the same mouth that's circular with the row of teeth. Rathtars are a worm-looking like space creature. I know they got tentacles and stuff, but even the way they kind of moved when they were chasing after Finn and Rey, and the way that the one moved when it was chasing after Michelle in 10 Cloverfield Lane, it could be connected. I don't know. That's my only really original theory that I bring to this thing. I thank the people that have put out long campaigns on websites, and I thank Where Universes Collide for making his video that really got me thinking about all this stuff and doing more research. So we got Howard. He went after Michelle, not knowing there was going to be a fallout, just so happened to be one, because he wanted to play out the daughter scenario again, because his daughter and his family left him. He already killed one girl trying to do this. Elliot gets in the shelter. It wasn't in Howard's plans. A fallout does happen. We got space worms. We got Chicago in the original ending. We got Howard telling his daughter about Chicago. We got space worms in Star Wars. We got Slusho and Swamp Pop everywhere. And I don't know. Is JJ Abrams that crazy that he would put everything into one universe? I think he would. Lastly, JJ Abrams has another movie coming out in 2017 called The God Particle. Go and look up what that is firstly, because it's crazy. It has to do with mass and molecules and protons, neutrons, or electrons, and all these scientists thinks it could be the main link for all of that stuff. But he's making a movie with that title. It's about some astronauts in space making a great discovery. Some people are already talking about that they think it's linked to the Cloverfield movies. So I guess we'll see. It's endless, guys. I mean, I'm going to keep doing research. Please comment below. Let's get some conversation started about this stuff. Let me know what you think. I'm going to link Where Universes Collide's video in my description so you can go check that out if you want to. I kind of piggybacked off him and tried to explain more in depth what I think about it. How I definitely don't think Howard's thing was sexual, and he didn't know about the viral campaign at the time. I actually picked up a link for that stuff in the comments and found all that out. So go check out the links. Look up the 10 Cloverfield Lane viral campaign, the Cloverfield viral campaign. Read Howard's email to Megan. Go look up the original ending that we were supposed to have that I mentioned. And it's crazy, guys. I hope this interests you all. Please subscribe to my channel. Please like this video if you liked it. Let me know if you want to see me do any more videos like this. I usually do vape reviews, but I'm a huge movie buff. Been into this stuff my whole life. So if you want to see me do any movie reviews, let me know. That's something I might think about doing. I don't know if I should get another channel or if I should just put it all in one with my vape stuff. But thanks a lot. I appreciate anybody who checks this video out. Thanks for all my subscribers. I appreciate your support. And I will see you next time.